What is up, my anti-Karen task force? This is Captain Zach, and I would love to welcome you to the evening show. Today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. Alright guys, this story is sort of titled like an anime, but anyways, it's called I Work Here, but I Don't Work Here. Crazy Karen accuses me of attacking her with tea. Here's the cast. There's me, Karen, supervisor, and sandwich shop employee. So it happened. I finally met my first Karen after 19 years. I've met many people with the Karen haircut, but they've all been nice. Not this time. So I work at a well-known corner shop in the UK. We also happen to have a well-known sandwich shop as part of our shop. Now, they have a fancy coffee machine that makes lattes and all the fancy coffee, so we all tend to use that to get tea or coffee. Sometimes they'll offer to make one for us. In the mornings, there's usually only one person on making sandwiches, and we always have two. One supervisor and one sales assistant. Well, on this morning, I was behind their counter making myself a cup of tea because I hate coffee and I only know how to make tea on the machine. Sandwich shop employee was out in the warehouse sorting out their delivery when Karen came in and caught me. I have my back to her, minding my own business. Now, bear in mind, our uniforms are completely different. Ours is black with our company name, theirs is green with a hat with their company name on the front of their shirt in huge letters. Excuse me? I turn around and smile. Yes, hello, I'll be over in just a second. I assumed she was a customer for my side. Make me a latte and a cappuccino to go. Oh, sorry, I'm afraid I can't do that. I don't work here. But you're using the machine and I'm behind the counter, so you can just make me my drinks. No, I'm sorry. I don't know how to make the drinks you want, and I don't work for the sandwich shop. I work for corner shop. Look at my uniform. It says so. I point to the company logo on my shirt. I don't care. You're behind the counter so you can make my drinks. I'm getting fed up. I'm tired and it's too early to be dealing with this. I was just making myself a cup of tea. If you can give me a sec, I can buzz up sandwich shop employee so she can make your drinks. No, you are behind the counter. Don't lie to me. I saw you use the machine, so you do know how to use it. You're just being difficult, you kumquat. Look, I'm not lying to you, and I don't appreciate you talking to me like that. I start to walk to the door to go to my side of the shop with my tea. Don't you dare walk away from me, you baseball pitcher! At this point, I've had enough. So I carry on walking to my side when she grabs my arm, making me spill my tea all over both of us. Great. I'll have to clean that up. I ignore her and keep walking and immediately buzz my supervisor up. Karen still having a go at me and screaming about how I threw my tea all over her. Luckily, supervisor finally heard all the commotion and came over. What's the problem here? I tried to get some help from this employee and she ignored me. When I went to ask her again, she threw a drink all over me. Look, it's burnt me. Proceeds to show supervisor where the tea landed on her arm. What? That's not true. I was making myself a drink and explained to her that I couldn't make her drink for her. When I said that, she got all mad and grabbed me, making me spill my drink. Go watch the cameras. At this, Karen looks a little scared, but still kept her story. Supervisor goes to look at the cameras and I go back behind the till to serve the other customers. Karen stood quietly by the door. I'm surprised she didn't try and leave. Supervisor comes back and proceeds to ban Karen for laying hands on me. She was fuming but ultimately left when supervisor threatened to call the police for assault. I now have the satisfaction of seeing her face plastered on our wall of shame every time I work. You know what they say, you can't spell Karen without 2/3 of the word ban. But don't worry, they definitely take care of the B part, if you know what I mean. Alright, this story's called Drowned Looking College Student Equals. I don't know what it equals, but this happened about a year ago while I was studying abroad. The university group I was with was visiting New Zealand and took a ride on a tour boat in one of the fjords on the South Island. We got back to the boat terminal, but due to the biblical rainstorm going on, we were soaked to the bone despite our rain gear. Once we were in the terminal, I quickly realized I was leaving a significant trail of water. So, not wanting to contribute to the inconsiderate American tourist stereotype, I stepped outside under the entrance awning to try and wring out as much water from my clothes as I could. An important note, at some point before our tour boat returned, a convoy of tour buses had arrived and disgorged a massive group of Japanese tourists. So, there I am, in my shorts, leggings, and shirt, with a very prominent image of my university mascot. wringing out my jacket and hat over a storm drain when one of the aforementioned tourists, Busman, approaches me. He said something I don't understand due to my single-minded focus on wringing out every last drop of water from my hat. Me, realizing he's talking to me. Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that. Where's the bus? Me, realizing I'm the only non-Japanese person around. Sorry, sir, I don't actually work here. Where's the bus? Me, attempting to redirect Busman to the uniform-wearing employees. If you step in the terminal, there is an information desk that should be able to help. Busman is starting to get increasingly agitated. Where is the bus? I'm also starting to get agitated. I think it's that one. Pointing at a random bus. He walks away toward the bus I pointed to without further comment. I then retreated back to my group, confused but slightly less soaked. The story was uneventful yet interesting because tourism. This story was called, Every Time I Go to Traffic Court, I'm Always Assumed to Be a Lawyer. Spoiler alert, I'm not a lawyer. I don't frequently get traffic tickets or parking tickets, but when I do, I fight them in person. On the day of my court appearance, this happens 2 or 3 times before the session. Hey you need to represent me today. I don't have a lawyer and I can't afford this $500 ticket. You need to get me off. I'll lose my license and I can't bring my kids to school or go to work if I'm found guilty. How much are your rates? They better not be expensive. All I can afford is $75 and no more than that. I can't represent you. I'm not a lawyer, and I don't have a law degree. Even if I was, I can't solicit clients in the courthouse. And I point to a sign which says lawyers and paralegals can't solicit clients in the courthouse. Don't you lie to me. You are a lawyer. Look at you. You're wearing a tie and have cufflinks on and you stood around here like you own the place. Look, lady, I'm not a lawyer. And even if I were a lawyer, I'd be charging you a lot more than $75 to represent you. You see, you're a liar. You are a lawyer. You just want to charge me more. Okay, I'll give you $100 and no more. And I better be found not guilty of my charge. No lawyer can guarantee you'll be found not guilty, especially for $100. You have a duty to represent me. When my case comes up, I will tell the judge that you are my lawyer and you will have to represent me. For the last time. I am not a lawyer! But I do know this much. If you tell the judge I'm your lawyer and he finds out I'm not, you will be in serious trouble. Liar! You lawyers with your fancy hair and pocket squares think you're better than everyone else and... Look, lady, just because I wear a tie, cufflinks, and have my hair done doesn't mean I'm a lawyer. I'm a life insurance salesman. This is how I dress to go to work. Then why are you here all dressed up if you're working in life insurance? Because I have my own ticket to fight. And if I may make a suggestion, next time you come to court, have your lawyer pre-hired and don't wear a ripped tank top from H&M. You should put on a good appearance for the judge. Fornication under consent of the king, you pathetic salesman. And she walks off looking to find another lawyer. Okay, oh, that's funny. The fact that this happens a lot is even funnier. The fact that he's just expecting it at this point, like he's exasperated, it's just hilarious. But you can't really blame the Karen in this situation, you know? Life insurance salesman, lawyer, come on, they're both boring. Don't convince yourself otherwise either. This story was called, Team Rocket is here to make your day. So there's not much dialogue. This is just mainly small stories put together as a summary of a day out. So here's a little backstory. Right this weekend, starting yesterday on Friday, the 20th of our Lord 2019, there's this event being held by Nintendo/Niantic for Pokemon Go. Yes, people still love it. Go figure, right? Anyway, it's the Pokemon Safari. You buy yourself a ticket, enter a set route by the event holders, and basically go to town for 6 whole hours with an upped shiny rate. I mean, by the end of the day, my friend who I was accompanying wound up with 12 brand new shinies and several other Pokemon. Since my phone decided it no longer wanted to support Pokemon Go, I didn't bother buying myself a ticket for the safari. However, since my friend was visiting from the States, I'm Canadian by the way, to come and enjoy this event, I wanted to accompany him for at least 1 hour on the route because apparently any normal people can show up. You just won't have the special catch rates or other goodies, and we'd walk around in the safari route. So, being unable to play Pokemon Go, to have my own kind of fun, I dressed up in cosplay. Now, I hadn't touched Pokemon Go in a long time, so I only recently heard that Team Rocket had been added as part of the game. So, I decided to dress up as a Team Rocket grunt. My boyfriend also decided he wanted to dress up with me for solidarity and went as Rocket Admin. The day was great. The sun was out, and the minute I stepped out of the subway station that dropped us off right on the island for the event, we were assailed with the Pokemon Go main theme and messages in both French and English telling us where to go. 3 colorful banners were waving in the wind majestically, each stamped with a symbol of the individual teams of Mystic, Valor, and Instinct, and there ahead stood an archway signaling the first steps into the event. It was all glorious and pumped me up even more despite me having no phone in hand to play. However, this is probably why people were confused as we walked in, strutting our stuff. While I am by no means a professional, when I cosplay I do my best to act the character. My standards are about the same level as any actor you'd find dressed up in Disneyland or World. I will do whatever I can to not break the illusion. People who knew and understand the whole cosplay scene complimented me and my boyfriend for appearing in full cosplay. For those who were just there for the event? Okay, now apparently there are now rocket stops in Pokemon Go, and every time my friend from the States needed to stop, we were nearly always stopped at a rocket stop. And me, being used to people staring, was right front and center playing with the prop Pokeball I brought along. People were whispering to each other, mainly mothers pushing their prams, wondering if they could approach, and words of "does she work for the event?" could be heard upon the wind. And rather than verbally answering to any of those whispers, I merely raised my eyes, met their gazes, and waved, which caused most of them to scatter and hurry along. I didn't mind this. I was just giving them this unreadable smile that could either just be some innocent thing or, "if you get near me, I'm going to steal your Pokemon, heh." The braver ones were the younglings, actually coming within arm's length before scurrying off to their mother's legs. So close, so far, but when I met their gazes, they smiled shyly and hid their faces. There were, of course, the fearless photographers who took notice of me and asked me for photos, either as selfies, pictures of friends standing next to me, or even a short video of me challengingly thrusting my Pokeball forward at the lens. It was a good time, and if people wanted photos, I was always happy to pose, answer questions in character, even scare off a few kids, hearing them laugh and shriek as they ran away from Team Rocket. All the while, people were thinking I worked for the event. I was always happy and ready to make someone's day a little brighter through cosplay, no matter if I worked for the venue or not. I personally did not want to ruin anyone's fun, and I was having fun myself. Now, the one meeting that stood out to me the most was this one young girl who approached my boyfriend and I while we took yet another break/stop after 30 minutes of walking. This time at a spot where you could take selfies with standees of the Go team leaders. As usual, people asked for photos of their kids posing with me and my boyfriend. The girl stood at the back of a small crowd around us, and when they got their photos and started to disperse, she stood there, as if she really wanted to come, but was too shy. After getting a good look at her, I had a feeling this was not going to be a normal encounter, especially with her mother hovering behind her. So, like in every other situation where someone was too shy to come, I was extra cheerful and friendly when I looked over at this girl, waved her to come over and say hi to me. The kid was on the spectrum, and I could tell all the stimulation of the day was getting to her. But she seemed excited too, happy, and her eyes lit up as I met them and gestured her over to come talk to us. And she did. And oh, my heart burst from how cute she was, talking about how her day was going during the safari. Her eyes were sparkling and bright as she rambled about the Pokemon she caught and how she loved it. I asked her some questions, the usual stuff about Pokemon, you know, just simple, easy things anyone could talk about with no rush to my voice or anything. Just a smile, keeping eye contact, and generally being chipper, despite me being dumb and walking around prior to the recent stop for 1 hour already in heels, in heat, while wearing all black. For her, I knew this would be a highlight, if not the highlight of her day, to see something from this magical virtual world sorta come to life. I don't know her background, but the moment she smiled, it clicked into my head, as it always does, to make this an experience for her as any Disney princess would at Disney World. I ain't no Disney princess, obviously, but I got standards and a simple stance on the world. If you can make someone's day brighter, just do it. It honestly made me pleased as a peach to do it, and it definitely seemed to make her happy. We got a picture together. She thanked us, and her mom came to talk to us a bit while the kid went around to catch a few more Pokemon. She asked us some questions. Other people too came up to talk to us. But you all know the main question here, which had come up several times during the day. Of course, my answer was, "Oh, I don't work here, but I never mind making other people's experiences a little happier and fun." To which she looked so surprised, as did others. But I just shrug and smile. I have fun, they have fun. So it's all harmless fun, isn't it? The rest of the time was generally the same. More walking, more stops, more photos, more of me doing ridiculous things to make people smile and laugh. And me having dead feet after 3 hours of walking in high heels. Cosplay is suffering. But yeah, that was the main incident that stuck with me yesterday. I hope she caught herself a lot of shiny Pokemon and is having a rocking time. And anyone from here attending, I hope you guys have a great old time too. Alright, I thought I'd leave you guys with something very wholesome and sweet. Alright, this was a very pleasant story to read. And not all these "I don't work here lady" incidents have to be bad. This person went out of her way to make other people's days better. And we really need to appreciate that, and we really need to make sure that happens more in the world. And also, Team Valor for the win. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.